Hey everybody, welcome. This is the Ground Up RC. My name's Aaron. If you have not been here before, hit the bell icon, hit the subscribe button, get notified every time we got a new video, which is, well, when I get them up right now. Also going to cover what we did on here, so share it with your friends, follow along. I hope you like it. Alright, so it's just roughly set in there. I'm going to pull it out and use it as a pattern on some balsa or plywood or something. Anyway, so now that we got that right here in all the darkness, I'll figure out which gauges I want to use. I'm gonna measure this out so it looks real nice and neat. I'll do the 4 gauges over here, the small one, and then the 3 bigger ones, and then I'll come up with something for switches. Probably just use a dowel. I'm not trying to make it, you know, like it's perfect, but anyway, that's that. It fits in here. You can get it lined up right. Fits in there good, so it holds up and doesn't move. I need to glue some stuff in for these screws to sink into, and so I'll make it the spots for those when sitting there, then it can glue up against it good. But that's how I think I'm gonna lay them out. These where I'm gonna put little switches. That's not measured out or nothing, and then I'll put that paper thing right there. It'll be about 2 inches by about 1.5 inches or so. We got a compass so we can draw our holes. They're actually about an inch, 15/16 or so. These other ones are about 1/2 inch. I know most of the people watching this video want to see this thing happen, but if you're into RC cars, this little a dinosaur, a relic, you can't buy parts for it anymore. I picked these up off eBay from a guy cleaning out some stock of a hobby shop he used to have. But if you want to see this thing get up and running, it's an old Mini T from Team Losi. Subscribe, you know, and if you want to see more of the planes, subscribe and follow. Helps us out. So, but this thing's been worked over. If you want to know the details on it, subscribe and follow. Once we get to 1,000, we're gonna do that. So I think that'll look decent. Now we're just gonna drill holes in each one of those where they're gonna be, and then we'll come over here and cut them out on the handy dandy scroll saw. They're all cut out. You can kind of see I didn't follow that line perfectly. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little sanding drum deal, stick it in the Dremel, and then we'll bring it out to that line slowly. You get a better deal. If you got drill bits the right size, that's easiest. You don't got to draw your compass line. You know, you don't have to draw a circle with your compass. You don't have to sand it all up, smooth it up. You just drill your holes, and that's where it is. But I don't have drill bits that big that'll cut a clean line like I want, so I'm doing it this way. They're just taped on the back. It'd been too hard to sit there and try and position them, and I wanted to see roughly what it looked like, see if that's really how I want it. You know, now that it's sitting in there, I think it'll look just fine. I think what I want to do with this is the way the instructions say to do it is to take your piece of plastic and it would go behind this piece of wood, and then the gauge pieces would go to the back of that, and kind of, you know, give it that glossy look. The way I think I want to do this is I think I want that piece of plastic to actually go right there, and then it gives the gauges some depth. You see what I'm saying? And and then I'm gonna make another one of these pieces of plywood. This one's at a 1/16. I got some 1/64 or 1/32 stuff that's just like super duper thin over here. I think I'm gonna trace that out on the black one, do all the same stuff, and then we're gonna paint that one white. So, and then I think what I'll do is I'll take some screws like these ones up in here. I have some 0.80 screws right here, and I think I'll put those around the corners, and I think that'll look pretty dang good. We're all cut out. I marked these. I just took a little square there. It's 45 and I laid it on there, centered it up and whatnot. And then I made these marks. 1/8 of an inch out, which would be in scale 3/8 out from the side of the dill. I think that'll look good. And that screw I think would be about a 6mm screw. So I think that should be about scale as well. So I got both of them sandwiched together so that we're drilling all the holes at the same time. And as I drilled those two to hold it all together straight, I realized that I should probably put this piece of plastic in between there. So I'm gonna take it apart, put that plastic in, screw all this together, and I'll just show you when it's finished. Kind of what we got going on with the screws and stuff. I put the gauges on the back and just push the drill through those. Just kind of like that. When I take it apart and finish it for good, I'm either gonna glue these down or just tape them all on good. Trim the sheets down a little better. But for the switches, I think what I want to do, I've been trying to figure out what would make it look good, and I don't think it's going to add any more weight than any other option I've found. Is take these two pieces here. I think that'll make a pretty decent switch. Either flood that up with solder or sand off the threads, polish it up. But I think that'll make a pretty decent looking switch. I mean, back here, put the nut on one of those, and you know, I think if I flood that up with solder or sand it smooth and then polish it and just bend it one direction, I think that'll look pretty dang good, pretty scale. So anyway, we'll probably put some switches right there. I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, something. It's a big difference, but and then we'll put the aerobatic sheet right here. So anyway, I'm gonna keep working on this. I'm not gonna show you too much more of what I'll do. I'll just show you the finished product. I got to take it all apart. I got to put a couple coats of paint on this to get it smooth, and then we'll paint this white, and then I'll put it back together and I'll show you. That's how it come out. It's just set in there now. We're gonna put blocks in there to screw down. These are just 080 screws turned backwards. I could fill them up with something to make them look smoother, but